Wednesday, and welcome back to the Maker's Gonna Learn YouTube channel. How are you guys doing? Hello, my friends. Let me move the cricket out from in front of my feet before I literally kick it and damage it. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. How is everyone doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing Wednesday. Today, in today's live, we are going to be learning all things about double-sided sublimation. Claudia says, you're just on a roll. I am. So let's go ahead and go overhead and show you guys what we're going to be creating today. Y'all, this is so stinking cute. We are going to be making a key fob with sublimation, and we are going to be doing double-sided sublimation so that we have a cute little design on the inside and a name on the outside. This would be great for a little teacher gift. You can make these for really whoever. I just think this is such a good personalized gift that is super easy to make, and we're going to be learning exactly how to do that today. So this is the finished product. Now, what you are going to need for this, there are a few things here on the table, and some of them you may have, some you may not. But what we are going to be starting out with, which is the star of the show, is this nylon. I don't want to call it ribbon, but it's also not a rope, but it's more like a flat rope, I guess you would call it. All of the supplies are going to be linked down below for you all, but this is going to be the star of the show. This is sublimatable, as you can see, because it is like a nylon. It is a synthetic fiber, so it has the polymers inside for that sublimation dye ink to adhere to this. Also, I forgot my coffee, but if I cough a lot, y'all, I must be coming down with something. Anyway, this is, yes, a strap material, very much a strap material. Once again, this is linked down below, but that is going to be the base of our key fob today. It is a very good, very sturdy material that would be great for a key fob. Yes, I am busy today. It is very much a belt-like material. Now, the one that we created here, I will give you the links of this one. It is not going to be long enough to use it as like a, to do it around your wrist. Some people like them to go around the wrist, some people do not. This one is a little bit shorter. If you want it longer, you can make it as long as you want. This one is one that I cut a little bit longer that would be large enough to go around somebody's wrist. But really, you can size it and make it whatever length you want. So, back to our supplies. We have our nylon strap. We do have a lighter here. What this is going to be useful for is just to burn the edges of that strap here to prevent it from fraying. So that is very important. Now, the clasps that we used for this key fob are once again also linked down below. They are very much like an alligator, like they have alligator teeth like right here, and it will clasp down. Now, we do use this tool right here. It's just to help us kind of bring that together. Once again, all of this is going to be linked down below for you. Now, other things that you are going to need. You will need some sublimation paper, and you will need, let's go ahead and go back to the number one, or three. You will need your sublimation printer. Today, we are working with our Epson SureColor F170 series printer. This is a phenomenal starter sublimation printer. It is the one that Epson has that is already set up for sublimation. You don't really have to do anything except get it out of the box and fill it up with ink. It is a really, really good printer. I will say the only downfall of this printer is it does not print 13 by 19. So it is a smaller printer, but we do really, really love this printer. Now, our larger printer that we work with is going to be the Epson ET8550. It is a larger printer. We did have to convert that printer. It did not start out as a sublimation printer, but it is also a really good printer. Now, if you are, let's go back to one. If you are not in the sublimation world and you want to learn more about sublimation, or you want to learn how to complete sublimation, you want to do it, I think it is a great crafting method, especially if you are wanting to sell things. It is not very permanent. It is permanent, period. Full stop. Sublimation is permanent if you use it on the right material. It cannot be washed away. So it is a great type of crafting if you are wanting to sell things, especially things like this, little key fobs. It is a very, very sellable craft. But I say all that to say, if you want to learn more about sublimation and you want to get started in the sublimation world, we have a full sublimation course as part of our Makers Gonna Learn Plus membership, which you can get started on today, 7-day trial. Click that link that we have if you are not part of the MGL Plus membership. What you do is you get access to every single course that we have ever created. You get access to all of our cut files and fonts that we have. Plus, you get access to our new studio tools that we have as part of our membership, where you can generate your very own SVGs and PNGs. We have a background remover, and we have a converter tool that will convert a PNG into an SVG. They really, really are great. So we are going to be using I say all that if you want to get started, click that link, the $7 trial. Now, back to our supplies, because I did just realize there are a couple things that we did not talk about. For sublimation, I said we needed sublimation paper. You are also going to need some heat-resistant tape. We just purchased this heat-resistant tape from Amazon. This is going to be linked down below. We love having heat-resistant tape on hand. Plus, you are going to need some butcher's paper, okay? Now, last thing you're going to need, come back to me. You are going to need a heat source. We have our, this is our StarCraft. That is actually no longer being sold. I don't know if you guys saw, heard, have you been to 143 recently? I actually just filmed a video on it yesterday. Hopefully it will go out on the channel. There's a lot of changes in the craft industry happening, y'all. Huge changes. Anyway, we also have the Heat Press Nation heat press. If you are in the market for a heat press, they have a pretty good heat press. This one you can no longer purchase, period. You just can't purchase it anymore. But you will need some type of heat source. We are using our 15 by 15. We have this set to 385 degrees, and that is the temperature that we are going to be pressing this at today. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and, oh, Donna just said, I just set up my X-Tool Wonder Press. That is exciting. That is exciting. Let's go ahead and let's start overhead. And I think the process that we need to start is you first need to start out by finding, by getting the size that you want for your key fob, okay? So if you want a smaller one, like this one right here, you can see it's going to be more of a smaller one. The dimensions for this one, we have cut this one at 9 inches. Okay, now I am going to be cutting off parts of this white, but for a smaller one, like I said, we have cut this strap to 9 inches, and our design is set up at 7, leaving us an inch on each side to play around with. Okay, now if you want it to fit over your wrist, so for example, this one I cut, it is a little large. I can very easily fit this on my wrist, and pretty much up to here. That is too much, but I wanted to leave about an inch like that, so I can still fit this on my wrist. I can still get it off very easily. So if you wanted to make it larger to fit on a wrist. This one is cut at 11.5 inches, so you can do 11.5 or 12. And then I think I would do, I guess since it's 11.5, we'll do 9.5 inches as our design, leaving an inch. So let's see, let me make sure that that would fit. So if we did an inch on each side, 10.5, 9.5. And let me actually mark it because I want to make sure. I'm just going to put a little tiny baby mark, okay? Not that side. I need the small side. Okay. So we're just going to mark that one there. And then mark this one. I just want to make sure when I bring it together that an inch on each side is going to be sufficient. Beautiful. I just did it barely right there on the ends. So if I bring it together and we cut off that inch on each side, I can still fit it on my wrist. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so 11.5 inches with your design being 9.5 should be plenty if you want to make a key fob that fits on the wrist. So the first thing you need to do, we're gonna cut our strap depending on what size. Remember, 9 inches here does not fit on the wrist. Design is 7 inches, 11.5 inches here does sit on the wrist. Design's gonna be 9.5 inches, okay? So, let's go to our share screen. Ooh, Sylvia just asked, hey Lauren, have you received your new Cricut heat press? No, we haven't actually. It was supposed to get here last Monday. Yes, last Monday or last Tuesday, we were supposed to get our heat press. We did not receive our heat press, y'all. Last week was insane for me. So I thought we're gonna get our heat press anyway. We did not get our heat press last week. It then said it would be delivered this Monday. No heat press, none. Now it's saying it won't be delivered until Friday, and actually I've not been on our Amazon today to see if it got pushed back even further. So I have no clue when our Cricut heat press is gonna get here. I thought that I would have already posted a video on the channel talking about the unboxing and talking about it and seeing if I liked it, but yeah, I've been trying to track it down, but it keeps saying, sorry, your order is delayed. Sorry, your order is delayed. And it's so weird to me that Cricut is only selling this on Amazon. I don't know. I digress. So let's go back to our share screen. And let's pray that our mouse battery doesn't die, okay? If it does, we're just gonna go with it. So this is the design that we are going to be working with today. Now, how we get there, I will show you. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start out over here on the Makers Gonna Learn website, and you can see we have lots of different borders that you can choose from, but y'all don't feel like you have to just choose a border. This little border right here is cute. Download. Also, this one is cute. I know it is scalloped, but I think we could make it large enough to where we could fit. Download. I'm just looking. Oh, that one's also cute. Anyway, you can see that we have lots of different borders that you can choose from if you want one that's kind of already set up in a small like square rectangle, or we can go over here to our categories and we can just go down to patterns and we can slice out whatever pattern that we want. So we can come down here to pattern. We can look and see what is under this category. Now some of them are, okay, those don't look like patterns. Let's try to search pattern instead of a category. We're also, I want to let you guys know, we are working on our website. We know and understand that our website needs a little bit more work, so we are working on it. Do not fret. But you can choose a pattern if you want to. Some of these repeating patterns may work, some of them will not work. It will just depend on how large your square is. Like for this one, if you wanted to cut out like this middle piece of the horses or like somewhere right in there, that one might work. This one would be good on the inside because it's a closer, like the pattern is closer together. But you can do whatever. You can also always go to the studio here and you can generate your own pattern if you want to. Now, for the sake of time for today, we are going to stick with one of the borders, but just know you can create whatever pattern you want, whatever border you want within the studio, especially if you are using a reference image. So if you find one of these borders, so let's just go back to border. Oh, I spelled border wrong, like a board, like I'm writing a board. It should be B-O-R, not B-O-A. Okay, so if you find one of these borders that you like, but you're not sure that you like the color, you can take this, put it into the studio, say, I love this border, I love the composition of it, I would just like for the colors to be lime green, hot pink, and brown. Actually, let's do that. I think I'm gonna let's just show you, because I want you all to see the potential so we're going to download this. I want you to see the potential of the studio. So we're going to come over here to the studio. Let's go ahead and generate a PNG. I don't know why it's not letting me switch over to PNG. Oh, Sadie. Okay, so never mind. There it goes. Woo! It worked. Okay, so let's say I just downloaded that border that I liked here. I want the PNG. Boom. Right here. Nope. Actually, I want to add a reference image. Here, PNG, upload. There's my reference image. Okay, so you can't drag and drop. You need to add a reference image. We want this as a landscape. I love this border, but I would like to change the colors of it. Please do not change anything about it other than the colors. I would like to keep the ivory base color, but make the accent colors chartreuse, hot pink, and brown. Can you tell I'm on a specific colorway kick right now? Boom, transparent, generate my PNG. Okay. Do you have an ABC or addition school-based pattern for a school teacher? Donna, I'm not 100% sure, but you could easily use the PNG generator and create a pattern like that. Would be super duper cute. Super cute. Okay, we're gonna give this a minute. Now, while this is generating, I'm gonna hop back over to Design Space here. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna first set up the this thing right here. This is like the side that has our name on it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come down here to our shapes. I'm just gonna grab a square. Now remember, we have to make this the size of our strap. We can make it a little bit larger, but I think for this, we might make it like 1/4 of an inch larger. So let's go overhead. This strap is sitting at right at an inch. So I may make it 1.1 maybe, and just fit my text within the inch. So let's go back to our share screen. I'm going to come up here to the size. We're going to unlock the size aspect ratio. The height, we're doing 1.1 is what I decided. And then the width, we are going to do, for the smaller one, we're going to do 7 inches. Now, in comparison, it's still actually a little bit smaller here. So we may need to do, so this one is 1.01. This one is 0.92. What happened? So we're unlocked, and I want to make it 1.1. Beautiful. Okay, so that one is a little bit bigger now. Okay, let's go back and see if our thing has generated. Yeah, I love that. I love that. So I'm going to download this, and that's going to be the border that I use. It's going to be super duper cute. Okay. Back over here, not in Canva. We're back over here in Cricut. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to come down here to upload. I'm going to upload image. I'm going to bring my Finder back in. Here is the generated image that I used. We're going to go to continue. We're going to do apply and continue. We want this as a flat graphic. Now it didn't leave the ivory that I wanted as the background, and the reason I know this is because it's not under there, but I can create an ivory for my border on the other side. But now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate this, and I'm going to make this border fit on that design like this, and we'll zoom in. Now I'm going to change this to ivory. So let's go to advanced. Something more like that is what I'm thinking. And then I'm going to make this larger. It's okay if it doesn't fit all the way, because remember, if it has a little bit of a gap, we're not going to be sublimating all the way to the edge, or this is a little bit bigger anyway. And then I'm going to duplicate this one, and it should be, it's close to a repeating pattern, but it wasn't completely. You can actually see where it overlaps just a little bit. But what I have just done is I've just lined this design up there so that it goes together seamlessly, and I could actually, do you see how it's, I could probably move it in just a little bit more. Not as seamless as it was before. Now that is seamless. Beautiful. So now what I'm going to do, now it does, we do have this on this side. First thing I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to, let's just go ahead and flatten all of this together. Or let's bring these two. So the two generated images, we're going to go ahead and flatten them together. Then I'm going to move this, ooh, what in the world? Oh, it's because now you can pick, we're going to move the whole thing down just a tad, and I'm probably just going to go ahead and select both of these and flatten them both together. Once again, I know we have a little bit extra over here. Not that big of a deal. We can always cut this off, okay? So now we have our inside design. Now what I want to do is I want to create the front side with our personalized space on it. So I'm going to come down here. I think I want it to be like the same hot pink as this. But you know what? We're just going to get as close as we can, okay? I'm going to come up here to advanced. We're going to go to this side. That's a little bit more on the purple. Let's get it more toward the pinky red. That's bright. Maybe we'll go with brown. But like more of this gray brown. I don't know. Ooh, I don't know. Sadie, what are you thinking? Brown kind of reminds, maybe not brown. Do we do chartreuse? That could be fun. Yes, a color picker would be top notch here. I actually think I like this kind of like lighter yellow just a little bit. Ooh, that's cute. We're getting somewhere, y'all. We're getting somewhere. Okay, so now I'm going to add my text. Now the text that we used on this one, if we come over here, we're going to go to unflatten. And this is the MGL Rotations font. So if you want to use that exact same font, which it is very, very cute, what you're going to do is you're going to come over here to the Maker's Gonna Learn website now. We are at the studio, so we need to go back to Maker's Gonna Learn here and come over here to fonts. We have some really, really good new fonts that are super duper cute. I'm pretty sure Asher has a font now.
I think I saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Asher has it. I'm looking for it. Competitive is cute. Afterglow is fun. Asher does have a little font now. So cute. I think that, ooh, I love Wyatt too. Wyatt is pretty cool. I don't think that, I keep going back and forth. So I love matching my font with my design. So like to me, this is giving a, I don't know, I'm kind of digging Wyatt with that. Trippy could be cool too. Parkside is fun. Parkside is not sharp enough though. See, I feel like I need a sharp font for this. Does that make sense? We're just gonna play around with it. Now, Oregon, no. It's gonna have to be the right one, but I'm not gonna spend a lot of time, y'all. I'm just gonna pick one. But this is, I do this. I'm very bad at this. Taking so much time trying to find a font that works. Okay, we're actually gonna go with Trippy. We're just gonna go with Trippy because it's cute and it's new and I like it. So let's type it out though. Let's do Miss Bond. That's one of the kids' new teachers this year. Let's double check it. Pretty cool. Actually, let's do Miss Self. That's far out. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so we're gonna download Trippy, and then we're gonna pop back over to Design Space. Now, like I said, the font that we used here is gonna be Rotations. It is the one that is gonna be linked down below, okay? So if you want to use this, it is linked. Trippy is not gonna be linked. Just so you know, I just picked this off the top of my head, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is I am going to have to bring my Finder back into view. This font, I need to double click it and make sure that I install this font. Boom, installed. But Cricut Design Space is not gonna recognize that font now. So I need to come up here. I can tell that this is saved. And once that is saved, I'm gonna come over here to view and I'm just gonna reload Design Space and we're just gonna click replace. Now I know that sounds, that's but you're still gonna come back to exactly where you were. Now when I bring in a text box, I can come up here to our system fonts and I can type in Trippy and boom, there we go. Now I can type in Miss Self and I'm gonna zoom in and we are going to adjust this to fit here, duplicate it, and make sure that it sits equally on either side and lined up so that it can be seen on both sides, okay? Now, I am going to change the color. Obviously, we're not gonna leave it black. And I think I wanna go with, why is it not picking up this ivory? So I'm gonna unflatten this real quick because I want this color. Like I want that color to be my inside. I guess it is that color. I didn't have to unflatten it if I didn't want to. Now, I will say, Donna made a comment earlier about how she would just extend her square to fit. If you want to do that, it's very easy. You can see I just extended my square so that we have this whole design. Now I'm just going to flatten these two back together, okay? So we're going to select these, flatten those back together. I have Miss Self. Now what I'm gonna do, because I wanna add a little bit of I want to add this definition, so it's gonna be hot pink. So I'm gonna come over here to Effects. I'm going to go to Offset, and I am going to add an offset to this name. Now with this one, I think that's a good size. Oh, for sure. And then we're just gonna change it to a hot pink color. So we're going to come down here to Advanced. Boom. And actually let me bring, boop. Let's go ahead, let's just bring this offset down here and zoom in. I can tell that color's off just a little bit. I think that right there is pretty darn close. Thoughts, comments, concerns? I think I'm pretty spot on. So I'm just gonna leave that there. We're gonna go ahead and add Miss Self here. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna flatten these two together like that. I'm going to duplicate it and I'm just going to move it over here and just delete this one. Now let's zoom back out so we can work on this and align this together. Beautiful. Looks like I need to bring this out just a little bit more. I just lost my mouse. She gone. She gone. Where's our charger at? Okay. I just need a old iPhone charger. There's one, if you will go into Tanner's office, there is one in Tanner's office on his desk. Haha, guys, the devil really is playing with the church's money today. I don't know if anybody here was at we had a class earlier on Zoom. Whew. He was really giving me a time this morning. So anyway, our mouse is dead. Deader than a doorknob. Okay, so let's just go ahead. I'll just go ahead and move the camera back to one while Sadie is grabbing our charger. Does anyone have any questions? Beautiful, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Now would be a great time if you have any questions. I mean, literally about anything. Ask away, because we're going to be waiting a minute. I will say this. It's not like it takes this mouse forever to charge. Come on now. I'm going to have to take this little guy out, though. Can't lose him. Okay. But I will say, it does not work while it's plugged in. Donna says, what's alive without a glitch? Here's your glitch. Hope you enjoy. Hope you enjoy. Can't lose that. Okay. It just says connected to USB to recharge. So yeah. I really hope and pray that I'm not getting sick. But it is back to school time. So what does anyone expect? Everyone should expect. Oh, it still says it's empty. It's like empty. A-ta-ta-tea. I have an idea. I have a quick idea. So I'm thinking that let me go grab one of the other, I don't want to say mice. Anyway, one of the other controllers from Tanner's office, and I could probably plug it into this and get it connected real quick so that we can get started. Donna asked, how did the birthday go? The birthday was perfect. We didn't do a lot. As you all know, I love birthdays and I love celebrating my child. But I will say this, I'm personally just not a big birthday person. Like, I don't go all out for myself. So maybe that's to a fault for me. Anyway. Okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try to connect this mouse to this computer. Oh gosh, don't let me. Oh, that one's connected to. I'm going to unplug this from the thing for just a minute and see if we can get this plugged in to this computer so we can use this mouse. Oh, yeah, boy, cowboy. We can use this mouse. Looky here. Your mouse is now connected. Okay, well, where's it at? Boom, got a new mouse. Let's go. This thing went off, coming back on because I was taking too much time. Okay, so we're gonna use this one for right now. Yay, we're back, and we're back. Okay, let's line the What happened there? Come on. Actually, that's kind of cool, offset a little bit. Do we maybe offset it a little bit? No, I won't. But I do kind of like it. I do like it. Okay. Why is it not? Let's just select these both. We're going to select them both, come over here to align. We're going to make sure that they are aligned vertically. Beautiful. Looks like they are distributed as they should. So now what we're going to do is we're going to select them both. Everything, all of them included. We have 3 layers and we're going to flatten. Okay? Boom. Super easy. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Make. I don't need this. We're just going to hide this. I don't need this. We're going to hide it. I forgot to put this back together. We're going to hide this. And now we are going to be printing this on 8.5 by 11. No, girl, we need this. We're going to do it all on one sheet. Like this. Beautiful. What is this? This needs gone. Hide selected. And then we're going to grab this one and move this one to this sheet like this. And now we have them both together. Beautiful. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Continue. We're going to send this to our printer. We're going to go to Next. We do want to go ahead and turn the bleed on because we do want the colors to go out all the way to the edge. And we are doing this on the Epson SureColor F170 series and always using System Dialog. Now, we are going to print this. Now, I hope you noticed I did not mirror this. This should automatically mirror if you are doing, if you are printing on a Canon, on the Epson SureColor, because it is a sublimation printer. We're just going to use this as default settings. You can come down here to layout, flip horizontally. It should, because I bet this is a new color matching Epson. We want to do color sync, automatic profile here, and we want to go to print settings. Okay, it is mirrored image, and we do want to do the fine quality. So we don't have to, that tells me right here, this automatically turns mirror on. So the very first time I ever worked with this printer, I kept printing it, I kept mirroring my design, and it would print it the right way. It's because this printer is automatically set up to mirror. So if you do have a converted printer, I would make sure to flip it here on Design Space before going to print, but because I am working with the Epson SureColor, it does it for me automatically. Okay? So we're gonna go to print. And it is printing. Okay. I'm reading your comments. Yeah, Donna, it is odd that I now have a 12-year-old, but I do know that there are other people that they're sending their, like you said, yours is sending their kids off to college. I still have quite a while. I still am very much aware that time is flying by for childhood. Vivian asked, what printer should I buy? So in all honesty, it's going to depend on what you want to create. If you are wanting to do smaller sublimation projects, the Epson SureColor F170 is a great printer to get. Remember, you can only print up to, you can only print 8.5 by 14 is the largest you can print on it. If you do get an Epson ET8550, which is a large format printer, you can print up to 13 by 19. So you get a lot more working area. It also is going to depend on what kind of budget you have. Obviously, a larger printer is going to cost you more up front, but I have heard so many people say after they got their sublimation printer, man, I wish I would have just went ahead and gotten a larger one. So that is my personal opinion. If you don't get the Epson, any Epson EcoTank is going to be a great printer for conversion if you want to convert. Okay. And we do go over printer choice in the sublimation course. So if you are part of the MGL Plus membership, go into that sublimation course, go through that course, check everything out. We go through which ones to pick from, our favorites, and then we also walk you through converting them as well. So here is what our print looks like. I think it's gonna be pretty. Now it is, every time I print on sublimation, I'm always like, oh my gosh, what is wrong? But there is nothing wrong. It's just the colors come out a little bit different when you first print versus what it's going to look like after it is sublimated, okay? So what I'm doing, I am separating out these two pieces here. Like this. And like this. So now what I'm going to do after I have cut those out, I'm going to grab my piece that I'm working with. So you can see I have quite a bit of overhang here. Not a problem in my opinion. I do want to go ahead, because this one, I made this one for a smaller one instead of a larger one. So I'm going to go ahead and cut another one here that's the same size as my smaller one. And we're going to sublimate both this one and this one at the same time. We're going to do 2 of them. Okay. So I am going to clean up my area first because I have a lot of things going on here. Oh, that's from the master class, that little piece of adhesive. Okay, I'm going to line this up here like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some tape and I'm going to tape it on this side and this side right here like this. Then, oh no, it moved. Maybe I'll get it right in a minute. Maybe this would be easier to do it this way. Boom. Beautiful. Okay. So I have this taped down and I might just go ahead and add a little bit more. And I am going to go ahead and tape both sides while I'm here. Just because. And this one, I'm going to do on this side like this, and also tape it right here. And right here. Okay, so I have both sides taped together. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a piece of butcher's paper and I'm going to sandwich this in between the butcher's paper like this. Now, after I have done that, and I lied, I'm not going to do this one at the same time. We're just going to go with the one. Now, fun fact, Holly did use a pressing pillow to make sure that she said that she did use a pressing pillow for this one. I think we're going to try it without the pressing pillow and see what kind of results we get. And then if we need the pressing pillow, I'll sublimate this one and bring it back, okay? So now I have both sides sublimated. Also, I literally can't move this anymore. Before we went live, one of the wheels on this cart, somehow 3 of the 4 screws has come out of this. So it's not being moved because it almost fell over and this thing was hot and it's very heavy. So we're going to stay all the way back here in the corner to sublimate. But just so you all know, we do have our heat press set to 385 degrees and we're going to press the first time for 40 seconds. Then we're going to raise it up, flip it over and press again for 30 seconds, okay? So 385 for 40 seconds, high pressure. And you do have to sublimate one side, flip, and do it again, okay? Does anyone have any questions? Deanna says, I thought you could only use blue heat tape, yellow for paper on paper. Every time I've used it on the product itself, it leaves yellow spot. I'm using the wrong kind of yellow tape. I'm not sure, but I have never personally had issues with the yellow heat tape. We have always used the yellow heat tape. Okay. Now we're going to take it. It is going to be warm, and we're going to flip it, and we're going to do 30 seconds on this side. So I'm going to open this up when there is 10 seconds left. 40 seconds flipping in reverse. It's here. Yeah, come on. If you got a big, anyway, I love that song. Thank you for that little reference. Okay, I gotta be serious. Serious Lauren has to be turned back on for just a minute. Okay, 30 seconds. Now we're gonna come over for the big reveal. It truly does not matter how many times I sublimate. I always get nervous when it comes to revealing our design. I know that sounds so silly, but here we are. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look how cute that is. It's so vibrant. It's so vibrant. I'm obsessed. Ooh. It's also very warm. It's so hot. Look at that. Look how good it looks. There it is. There she is in all her glory. There she is. Okay, so what we're going to do now, here is our cutie patootie little key fob, but we still have a couple more steps. We still have to add the hardware. Now here is how I'm going to add, here's how we add the hardware. So I'm going to first start by lining up my, okay, so here, also it matches my nails. I told y'all I was on a kick with this color palette. Okay, so I'm going to line up my greens as close as I can here. Now it may not, it's not even. I didn't like evenly distribute them. We got the blank on Amazon. It's gonna be linked down below. It's just like a nylon strap. Okay, so we're gonna make sure that these greens line up on the outside. Beautiful. I think that's fairly close. Then I'm going to take my hardware. Donna, if you'll give me just a minute, I'll show you exactly what we're gonna do. And I'm going to kind of measure how large the hardware is and how short I need to cut this. So I am going to grab a marker and I'm just gonna mark this right there. Did y'all see how I marked right there at the edge of that? Okay. Now, after I've marked, I'm going to then take my scissors and I'm going to cut this side. Oh wow, that lined up with that design perfect. It lined up with both sides of the design perfect. And I'm just gonna cut that excess off. Now, what you need to do, because Donna said, what about the edges? Fire. Boom. I'm just gonna melt those edges. Just gonna burn the edges there. And it creates like a plastic layer, like that doesn't fray now. And if you wanted to, let me burn this corner a little bit. Burn that corner, just kind of run it over there. Be careful when you are doing this, you want it to cool down, but just barely tap it. Done. Same thing on this side. Let's do that corner real quick. But it literally like melts that edge together. So that's what you need to do, okay? I don't know if the heat press would work. Maybe though, if it was hot enough. We could try it. Okay, either way. Now, what we're gonna be doing is bringing these two together. putting it in our, right here, putting it in our hardware. Now I'm going to use the alligator clips to kind of help keep it in place. I'm pushing it up against those alligator teeth on the other side to keep it straight. Like that. And I'm going to, and this might be one, honestly, it might be easier. Let me just go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and take this jump ring off right now, and we can add it back on in just a minute, because I do think it's going to be easier to clamp this down. So I'm going to line this side up. Ugh, this right here, getting this together may be, literally may be the hardest part. So we're just going to, and also I'm kind of trying not to be a perfectionist, but we are going to like this. I guess I don't have the grip strength that I thought. I really thought that I could just use my hands, but I cannot. And I think I'm going to do one side first and then the other side. So we're going to do this side, clamp it down, and then we'll come over here and clamp this side a little bit. Gives us a little bit more wiggle room, and then we can come right here. And clamp this down together like that. Boom. Looky there. And now we can put our jump ring, our little twisty guy key ring, back on. And we have our cutie little teacher gift. I'm obsessed. I'm literally obsessed. I'm loving this pattern and these colors. Boop. Cutie peekaboo inside. And that's it. What do you guys think? Okay. I wonder if you could glue or use a tape runner to hold until you clamp. I bet you could use I bet you could use a little bit of hot glue. You know what? Let's try it. I love it when you guys have suggestions, because it really does help me teach you guys in the best way possible. So let's turn us on some hot glue. See if we can get that hot glue. I just really want to test to see if it messes up the clamp when we go to clamp it, okay? Clamp it. The clamp it. Okay, we are going to once again go back overhead. We're going to mark. Remember, we're going to do this all together. I don't think so. Lorraine just suggested, or just some tape. Maybe if you had some really good double-sided tape, it could possibly work. I don't know that tape on this nylon is going to be great, though. That's my only concern, is because I just don't know that the tape will hold it as well. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so what I'm thinking when this gets heated up just enough, I'm thinking that we just do a little tiny bit, just enough to hold it, okay? Heidi says these fasteners are horrible. Give it a tug and it comes right out. Oh. Now I'm curious. Okay, so it did start coming out a little bit on that side, I will say that. But I mean, I feel like the back side is not going to come out. Now I'm trying to recreate what you were talking about. Because if it is horrible, we don't want to be promoting like clamps that don't work. I think it has a lot to do with those alligator teeth going into the actual product, and then, so the smooth side is the issue. So if that's the case, maybe adding, if you did, so here is a workaround. If you are having issues, number one, we've not had any issues with these clamps, and I'm afraid I'm going to bend this thing before I do anything. So, if you are having issues, number one, try out some different clamps, I guess. But if you have a bunch of these, my only other suggestion would be, since we are doing a little bit of hot glue to hold this together, I don't see a problem with maybe adding a little bit of like DAP glue on the either sides right before you clamp so that it adheres to the metal. So I'm literally just testing this out because people were asking what could we use to hold this together. So I've just got a little hot glue. That's going to help hold that together so it doesn't move when I'm going to clamp it. Let me go ahead and, now I'm only suggesting hot glue as like a temporary hold for, before you clamp it. If you are wanting a permanent hold on these clamps, if you are having issues with the clamps not staying together like Heidi is saying, at that point I would suggest something a little bit more sturdy than hot glue, like a E6000 or a DAP glue, or I think Gorilla Glue has like a really good permanent glue, like a super glue. That is when I would suggest grabbing. So just so you all see, I'm pushing it down into those teeth like that. And at this point, this is where I would come in here and add maybe a little bit of extra glue on the inside, not a lot, because you do not want it to be squeezed out of that. And then, so far the hot glue is working great. But I do want to say, I do like working side to side versus trying to clamp it from the top. Like getting this down like this and then coming over the top and getting a good seal on it that way. And it did not at all affect me clamping this down. And that one feels, that ain't going nowhere. That's going absolutely nowhere. Now I did cut it a little close for Denison on that side, but it's okay. So yes, if you have trouble holding it together, like I was kind of having trouble holding these two sides together, definitely grab your hot glue gun, give just a little, the smallest little teeniest line across the top to hold it together, and that does make using this clamp a lot easier. And you do need to clamp this down really, really well. But if you are having issues, just add a little bit of super glue here at the top, and it shouldn't be a problem. Chicken sage turkey, love it. Okay, what do you guys think? Now I would add a charm and or tassel to bling it up. Yes, bag charms are huge. Create some little charms to go on it would be super cute. So many things that you can do for things like this. Whether you are gifting it, making it for people for gifts, this is a really, really cute, very easy and inexpensive way to give a personalized gift that no one else is going to be able to recreate. So, thank you guys so much for being here. Hello, Deborah. How are you? As always, if you are not part of the Makers Gonna Learn family, you're not part of Makers Gonna Learn Plus, and you want to learn more about sublimation from start to finish, we do have a course that teaches you everything you need to know. Even if you have not started, I highly suggest going in there and checking that course out, because we walk you through the process of getting a printer, choosing which one you want, setting it up, converting it if it is an inkjet printer that you want to convert to a sublimation printer. So much is inside that. Plus, you get access to every single other course we have ever created. So, thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure you check out that $7 7-day trial, and I will see you guys